Enso opened just over a week ago as of the time I'm recording this, and for those of you who don't know, it's the two spinning seats on Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, which was implemented by Mack Rides after the success of the spinning seats at Dreamworld in Australia. And by the way, this is an upcharge attraction. I must put a disclaimer about that before I do anything else in this video. But yesterday I did manage to go to the park and experience this spinning element of Icon. And today I'm going to be doing a review and telling you how you can book Enso. So to get the boring part over first, this is how to book for Enso. And the reason I'm doing this is because I didn't actually know how to do it when I got to the park, and I've not really seen anyone talk about it, and it's a kind of confusing process. But once you know how to do it, it's pretty easy. So for number one, you're going to need to, on your day of visit, because you can't pre-book it in advance, go onto your Pleasure Beach dashboard, which is basically when you log in and you can manage all your e-tickets and stuff like that. Or you can optionally scan the QR codes around the park in order to start the booking process. So I know that for the QR code locations, there's one by Guest Services, which is by the Flying Machines and Grand National, and then there's also one outside of the part where you buy your ride photos for Icon, and you can scan that and it'll take you to where you need to book. For number two, you'll need to select the guests and their e-tickets that will be riding. You can only, I believe, book two at a time because there are only two seats on one out of three of the Icon trains, so you will not be able to book for more than that at a time. For number three, you have choose one of these two pricing options, which is as follows: the standard pass for Enso, which is £15 for a normal wait time. So wherever the queue is for the normal ride of Icon, you will have to wait virtually. So I had to wait 25 minutes for my ride. And by the way, this is only available for just one ride on Enso, so you don't get multiple rides with this pass. Neither do you with the second one, which is VIP, and that will cost you £25 and give you a 90% reduced wait time. So for the time that I waited for standard, it would have taken me 2 minutes if I'd have paid an extra £10, which doesn't seem very worth it to me, but to be fair, it's each to their own, and it really depends. And I can assume it would be good if it's getting towards the end of park hours and you really want to get on Enso, but you can't obviously wait the standard time to get on it. So for number four, you will then need to wait for this virtual timer to go down. And then, of course, you will need to walk to the Speedy Pass entrance of the ride, which is in the exit area of Big Dipper. So where you'd enter for Big Dipper's Speedy Pass to go up the exit, you would go to the left hand side, which goes down to the Icon Speedy Pass entrance, and there's two doors, and you want to go into the Enso one because the Fast Pass one has like a barrier, so you won't be able to get into Enso if you go down the wrong queue line. So make sure you pick the right one. And then you need to allow the staff member to enter the code, and then you can enjoy your ride on Enso. And it's a fairly simple process, but when you don't know what you're doing, it's a bit hard to find and it's all a bit confusing. But I would say that it's a fairly good process, but the main tricky bit is finding the Speedy Pass entrance. Yeah, we had to take a decent trek over to the entrance. And by the way, I did do Enso alone, so for the next bit, you're gonna have to bear in mind that the gravity of it was kind of skewed because weight was on one side and I didn't do it with two people. So, yes, this is a bit you've all been waiting for, my review of Enso. And for one thing, I cannot speak any higher of this experience. I really, really enjoyed it. There was something about changing the whole experience and force of the ride that made it so much more enjoyable, and it was just really fun and very unpredictable because while you'll find that when people are sat by themselves, they'll oftentimes go into certain positions as if it's almost planned. There is always that element of, change and unpredictability with this experience. I personally found it incredibly exciting and fun. I didn't find it necessarily intense, but then again, I don't find many things intense these days. But yeah, I would definitely say it ramped up the intensity from the normal icon experience. But yeah, it was just an absolute riot of a laugh. Going sideways on the launches and twisting round on the Junior Immelman and feeling like I was going to fall out on the zero G roll. It was just a really fun experience. And the second half of the ride, I was getting spun around like mad. It was genuinely so much fun. But I have to say, for one thing, because I know that my concern and a few other people's concerns was, does it make you dizzy? Does it spin too much, too fast? And I have to say, no, it does none of those things. It really is a very fair experience because I thought I would come off feeling dizzy and ill from it. I didn't at all. It was a really good experience, and the spinning isn't majorly fast, because obviously the platform it's on is fairly weighted, so you do spin at a nice slower rate. And the only time you really speed up the spin is when you go into the launches because you'll quite quickly change position then, and also in the inversions if you can count the Junior Immelman as an inversion, which is a debate for another day. But yeah, I don't really like spinny flat rides, so I was thinking I'm not going to enjoy spinning around on a really, quite fast and, you know, quite bendy roller coaster. But no, it was genuinely so much fun. And then also to address the elephant in the room, the pricing. I understand that the pricing is quite steep, to be fair. Um, and I know that not everyone's going to be able to afford it when they come to the park, given that the base price of an adult ticket, which is ages 12 and over, is £34 and can go up to as much as £44. So spending an extra £15 or £25 might not be the best option for particularly a family that is going to the park. Um, but I would say if you do have a spare £15 and you're deciding should I spend it on merchandise or should I do Enso, if you're a big roller coaster fan, I would definitely pick Enso because it is genuinely an experience that is worth having, even just once. I will probably do it once every time I go to the park because I can afford to have the experience, which I'm very lucky, of having. But yeah, I would definitely say if you're gonna do Icon and you're willing to spare the money, I would definitely try out Enso. It was genuinely so much fun, and I cannot speak any higher of it. Um, but yeah, the pricing is one of the things that is a bit of a downfall. But for the people who might be thinking, I know I've seen in the comment section thinking they might reduce the price or they might get rid of Enso. From what I've seen, it looks like it's here for the long run because, well, for one thing, you know, loads of people were going on it when I was there. When I went into the station, there were people waiting there with their timers in there. So while it looked like there weren't very many people going on it because the Enso seats were empty, there were plenty of people waiting for their timer to go down. So I think that they'll probably reduce the standard wait times because that's the only thing that's stopping the throughput. And for another thing, I've also noticed that they have a locking system on the Enso seats. So and I do know that the locking system hasn't been working very well. I know that some Enso riders have actually had no spin because they forget to unlock the seats. But I think that at some point, when there isn't an Enso rider, they'll actually start locking the seats and using those back rows. And it is only on one train, so it's not massively stunting the throughput, as I found out. And as per usual, Icon has incredible throughput. Same with a lot of the other rides. I found that yesterday, even though it's really busy, um, you know, they were getting people in the rides, and yeah, it was a really great day yesterday, and I would definitely recommend checking out Enso if you can. So yeah, that's really it for this video. I do hope you've enjoyed it, and I do also hope that this is kind of finalize your decision on whether or not you'd like to go on Enso. I know that a lot of YouTubers have been talking about how great Enso is, and I'm kind of jumping on the bandwagon here, but I do genuinely agree with them. The only thing that does let it down is that not all coaster enthusiasts can actually access it, and that's a bit of a disappointment, but I do hope that there might be some sort of thing that makes it more accessible. Like even if they reduce it to £10, I feel like more people will go on it. Um, but there is still the argument that you have things like the fast pass being quite expensive as well. So they'll just have to see what happens. But I would definitely like to see it stay for the long term. in my own opinion, because I do enjoy it and I do think it's a good, unique experience that doesn't really interrupt the experience for normal riders, because it only removes two seats. Well, technically four, because I haven't actually implemented the lock-in system that I have just recommended. So, hopefully that it will all get sorted and stuff like that. But yeah, that's really it for this video. I do hope you've enjoyed this, and of course, if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, this is just talking. Bye bye.